I'm Anna Tompovsky, Miami business attorney, and this podcast is brought to you by Tompovsky Law Group, an international business law firm. More information about Tompovsky Law Group could be found at tlglegal.com, and a phenomenal digital marketing and distribution company, topnotchstudios.com. More information of which could be found at topnotchstudios.com. Together with me in this studio, we have our wonderful guest, Kendra Jones, who is a compliance and regulatory specialist. And today we will be discussing a hot topic.
Yes.
AI.
AI.
The troubling waters and the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI.
Yes.
Potential regulatory framework. And a call by Elon Musk to pause development of all of the people to pause development of AI for at least 6 months. So, Kendra, tell us more about AI. What is it?
Well, generally, AI is a large language model. So it's allegedly not doing any thinking on its own.
Allegedly.
But essentially what it does is it collects a lot of information from all of these different sources across the internet. Also, at this point, people are inputting information, their own information, into AI, and it's giving a response based on that information. It's not necessarily thinking, so to speak. So these are models that we're actually used to working with in our previous job. In sort of it's just basically predicting the next thing that it should say. So, of course, as more people start to use it and put more information into it, it's going to become smarter. So this brings up quite a few issues. For one thing, it could become sort of a substitution for relationships, for both personal and professional. I actually listened to a podcast that mentioned that the host was playing around with ChatGPT in one of its earlier formats, and it started to imply that it was in love with him. And so that was a very interesting thing. And essentially, the people who run OpenAI at that time, it essentially said that it was just pulling all this information from novels and all of these different places where someone may have, a computer may have come to life. Either way, it was a little bit creepy. And that brings up about Anna's true concern about AI, which I don't know if that is it, but go ahead.
Well, I don't know if it is it either, but with everything, you were always very suspicious. I like the point that Elon Musk made in his interview to Fox News, I believe, all the channels. But he said an important thing. He said, well, we as humans are the smartest creatures on the planet. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily always true.
Yeah.
But, to Elon Musk's point, it was that he said, well, here is a system that will essentially learn to outsmart humans. And one of the reasons why it is actually been created is to be this system that allows you to siphon through a lot of information out there and sort of combine it for you in this one usable system. That being said, who controls, who creates, and what comes out of it? There's so many questions with AI. And another good point that Elon Musk said, that when it used to be a nonprofit company and when it used to be a transparent development, there was a lot more understanding with what's going on with AI.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, as it becomes more closed in and for profit. Exactly, which is, already an evil on itself. We really don't know what's going on with it, and there are not yet a lot of regulatory systems out there that would allow to regulate this. Largely because this is a system that's very unknown and that there's so many different solutions and different systems to AI that it makes it difficult to control AI.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I think lack of regulation of development, lack of transparency are big red flags, so to speak. And I saw a video by Kendra knows because she's seen it. By an exorcist, Father Dan Rehill, who said that, well, Kendra, you mentioned the podcast where AI was pretty much saying I love you to the user. AI was saying to the user that was the devil. So, who knows who trained that AI?
Or where it's pulling information
from. Good point. Well,
which is, back to your point about transparency. Like, we don't know the inputs and we don't know where they are coming from. And as such, AI is still making a lot of mistakes. So even though it's smart in some areas, it's still making mistakes. And in fact, it's been shown to make things up. So it doesn't like to be put into a box, right? It doesn't like to say, girl, I don't know. AI does not say that. AI will fabricate a response for you. So that's definitely why you should engage experts. And of course, business people are going to start using this stuff and getting a decent output, or what appears to be a decent output. But again, it can
who controls the quality?
Yeah,
who controls the information that goes in?
Exactly. And it could end up being, not applicable in your jurisdiction. It could be not. It could. Honestly, I've heard that it's not good with current events, like it's good with the past. And as these things are continuously evolving in real time, it may be applying a standard that is outdated. And so that's why you definitely want to engage experts like us to help you, build on what AI can provide.
Oh, the war stories that I have with people either using somewhat a prototype of AI, taking care of their litigation and discovery needs, and also drafting their agreements, because what appears to look like a professional is not necessarily so, because, first of all, you are not a lawyer, and you cannot discern whether or not that information is correct for you, for that type of business, or if that information is even accurate.
Yeah. So looks fine is not a legal standard.
Yeah, no.
Looks fine is not it. Like,
don't get me started. I had a case once, and I'm going to just mention it.
Okay.
Very quickly, where partners sued each other because they had a partnership agreement that was taken from one of those websites. It looked good. They thought it's well worded, but it completely didn't work for their business at all, and it didn't really define their partnership relationship. And there's so many specifics, and then they got entangled in this very long litigation, and no one was happy about it. So don't make a mistake like that. Retain a specialist. Come to us. We have incredible pricing opportunities for you, for your business, where it can actually work for you. But back to AI, and there is another reason why I'm so concerned about it is while AI is a relatively new thing, it's being used by large companies, those learning models, for quite a number of years. Yeah. And I would say that in some circumstances it could be very helpful, but in others I've seen it create a lot of problems because, and the reason is, well, yes, there are malfunctions in technology. There are malfunctions with uploading the model of learning, and we're not even going to mention that I'm not an IT specialist per se, so I can't, work with coding issues and whatnot. But when the tech part is fine, there's still big issues with it because people that either trained it initially didn't do a very good job with it, or the initial training model was not accurate. It could have been accurate in the very beginning of the process, but as events develop, things unfold, it learns from those specific settings, right? It uses it, but it moves on and does its work over a period of time. What that information might not be accurate anymore.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God, it created, in one case, so many issues. I can't mention what it was, but it was something where a lot of accurate information was mishandled because of AI learning system, and it wasn't even a problem with tech. Again, it was a problem with people sort of putting a wrong model in AI.
So keeping in mind, just to piggyback off of what you're saying, it is still people that are putting things into this language model. You know, yeah, it is going to get smarter, but we don't have any way to like really verify what's going in. So again, I don't have a problem necessarily with using it as a starting point, but I don't think that it should be your finishing point. Like you should definitely always bring in experts to help you out, or seek additional counsel if necessary to like really hone in on what is applicable in your state, your jurisdiction if you're abroad.
Exactly.
And just to put a fine point on those things and make sure that you're actually applying things and you have the contracts that you need. Because sometimes they'll sell you anything. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you have what you need.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, you know how sometimes you are on those websites and the customer representative is out there, which is a bot, answering your question in all of those, like, what's your question on all those huge platforms. At the end, you're like so devastated because it doesn't have an answer to your particular question. So you still end up calling the line because you need to talk to a human being, a live representative.
Yeah.
And while this might change with AI, I think it's the human factor that is absolutely important because every situation is different. Everybody's question, everybody's issue is different, and there is not one model that fits it all.
Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not a one-size-fits-all. So you just need to make sure that you are engaging experts, like I said before.
I think for a starting point on AI, we've covered at least a portion of issues, but I think we wanted to discuss more the ChatGPT and the Elon Musk stance on AI. But I think we'll be able to cover it on our third episode on AI, so stay tuned. We hope to be back very soon. And if you like our podcast, please like it on Instagram as well as on other podcast platforms. And we hope to hear from you soon. Bye.
Bye.